purse falls over. You know what I'm saying? A letter falls out, but it's a letter from a correctional facility. You writing a letter to this dude in prison that can't do nothing for you. That makes no sense. I'm not confrontational, Judge. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to argue. So I put the letter on the refrigerator. I know about it. You know about it. We two grown adults. Now what you gonna do about it?
What did she do?
She put me out for what she did.
Were you writing an inmate in prison while you were married to your husband?
After he wouldn't give up his ex-girlfriend, I felt like it was okay for me to be friends with my ex-boyfriend. Yes.
How did that situation end, Mrs. Shropshire?
I ain't had no license. I got in my car, left, got pulled over, went to jail all night.
You mean you didn't bail your wife out of
She
jail?
wasn't going nowhere. She was cool in jail.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I have here before me Mr. Charles and Mrs. Sarah Schropshire. You have been married for 5.5 years. You have one child together who's 6.5 months old. Mrs. Shropshire, you say that after the two of you got married, the sex just stopped, and that was unacceptable to you. And Mr. Shropshire, you say your wife is lying, cheating, conniving, and running around. Mrs. Shropshire, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me how the marriage got started and how we ended up in divorce court today?
Well, when we met, he was the most romantic man I've ever met. He used to take me out. He used to wine and dine me, show me off to his friends. He used to even tell all his friends, I'm going to marry her. So less than 1 month of meeting, he fell head over heels and married me. And we was having sex 3-4 times a week then. After a year, it went nothing, nada, zero. I'm sleeping nude, he wouldn't touch me.
Well, did you ever talk to him about it? Did you discuss it?
I didn't have to discuss it with him in the beginning when he wanted it so bad.
But you were getting it in the beginning,
Yeah.
Now you're not. So you never thought to mention it, bring it up, discuss it, what's going on?
I didn't change, he did.
Mr. Shropshire, your wife says that the loving stopped once the two of you said I do. Is that what happened?
Nah, that ain't what happened, Judge. My wife is a liar. Straight out liar. One day, I was cleaning up our house. I had an off day. I'm gonna do something nice. Her purse falls over. You know what I'm saying? A letter falls out, but it's a letter from a correctional facility. You writing a letter to this dude in prison that can't do nothing for you. That makes no sense.
What was in the letter?
You know, the guy was expressing his feelings about how she's helping him through his time in prison. He really appreciated, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And then on top of that, the conniving part was, Judge, she had the letter sent to her sister's house in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Not to our house.
To her name, but at her sister's address.
Exactly. And then bring it home. Yeah, I'm not confrontational, Judge. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to argue. So I put the letter on the refrigerator. I know about it. You know about it. We two grown adults. Now what you gonna do about it?
What did she do?
She put me out for what she did. Then she told me I shouldn't have been going through her purse. But I bought the purse. I bought all her purses.
Well, that doesn't mean you can go through it, but I'm with you all the way up to that point.
It fell over.
All right. Mrs. Shropshire, were you writing an inmate in prison while you were married to your husband?
After he wouldn't give up his ex-girlfriend and we was having problems in our marriage about her, I felt like it was okay for me to be friends with my ex-boyfriend. Yes.
When you're looking for a man, no matter why, the reason your husband's not treated you right, what would say guy in prison is a good choice to make? What about that? The bars and the incarceration and all that, what about that says to you, here's a good guy to pick?
That wasn't someone that I was trying to be with. He was just a friend.
He was just a friend?
Just a friend that I can't see, that I can only write letters to.
Mrs. Shropshire, did you put him out when he put the letter that you got from an inmate on the fridge?
Yes.
And again, walk me through the thought process that said to you, throw my husband out because he put a letter
It ain't got nothing to do with the letter. And that wasn't even the time that I put him out. What about when one of his ex-girlfriends called and said, I'm like, why do you keep calling my husband? She said, well, just tell him I said, thanks for the $200. So I said, your girlfriend just called. She said, thanks for the $200. He like, I ain't get her no money. I'm like, call her back. Call her back right now. No.
Mr. Shropshire, what about the woman and the $200?
Your Honor, my wife likes expensive things. She likes expensive jewelry like I like. I pay the bills. I ain't got $200 to get to no other woman. That's why I was like, I don't even know where you came from now. I buy groceries, pay the bills.
Do you know the woman to whom she is referring?
Yeah, I know her.
How did that situation end, Mrs. Shropshire?
I got mad because he wouldn't call her back. I ain't had no license. I got in my car, left, got pulled over, went to jail all night. Oh, I'm just thinking, she done won now. Well, now he is going out there. He know I ain't coming home tonight.
Did your wife go to jail that day?
Your Honor, she went to jail, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. She went to jail on her own regardless. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Did you go get her?
I couldn't go get her. I had to go to work.
You mean you didn't bail your wife out of
She
jail?
wasn't going nowhere. She was cool in jail. Why would you go get somebody to just put you out? She just put me out,
But
Judge.
she was your wife.
Let that dude who she writing in jail get her out.
Well, you know he can't even get out.
That's
How's
right.
he gonna get her out?
2 jailbirds together.
Mrs. Shropshire, I understand that woman called more than once. Is that right?
Yes.
Can you tell me
Yes.
about the second time she
He
called?
had got a new truck. And she called. And I say, why do you keep calling? My husband do not want you. Leave us alone. She say, oh, your husband do want me. He comes sees me all the time. So since he got a new truck, you know, I'm real hyped now. What he coming to see you in? What is he driving out there in? Because she lived like 45 minutes away. She said, in the big black truck with the tinted windows. He had just got a big black truck with tinted windows. Shut me up.
Okay. Is this the only woman that you caught him with, or was there another one?
Well, one day I was calling him and he wasn't answering the phone. So I was about to go up to his job. So he got a little friend that live on that street. So I'm riding past and I see his work van. So I stopped and parked, and when I got out, she get out, walk up in the house. Hi, Sarah. He gonna ask me what I'm doing there. You know, he like, well, you know, this my friend's house. You ain't got no business coming over here. Okay. So I left.
Mr. Shropshire, were you having an affair or relationship with any of these women that she's talking about?
No, Your Honor, I'm not an adulterer.
Do you recall the second situation that you're talking about?
Yeah, it didn't happen nothing like
Well, why don't
that.
you tell me how it happened?
This person was involved with the program which I was working for, you know, a GED program. This lady, she was having some problems and she needed somebody to listen to, and I was just listening to her as she was talking. I mean, this is the truth. She pulled up out of nowhere just all loud. My wife is a loud person, and got out, you know, trying to start some stuff. The lady got out the van, went in her house. She got in her car, said, man, don't do this here in front of this lady's house. We'll take it home. That's all I said, and we took it home. It wasn't nothing to that, and it was for real. She was really going through some problems.
Okay. What about the second letter that your wife got from, I take it the same guy in prison?
No, it's a different, this is a different guy.
This is a different letter.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Why don't you explain to me
Oh, yeah, it's a different
about
letter.
that? Mrs. Shropshire, please, let him tell the story. Mr. Shropshire, why don't you tell me about that?
Your Honor, we had a nursery. Our baby was just born. She's about 2 months old. So I'm cleaning up the nursery, getting rid of dirty diapers and linen. I find a letter under her pillows. You know, this ain't the same dude. This is a different dude. Different correctional facility.
Oh, different.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said how, you know, kind of like the same thing, but different. I really enjoyed your last letter. I'm looking forward to more letters. Maybe when I get home, I'll be home about 6 to 8 months. We can kick it, go out to dinner, things like that.
And what did you do in response to seeing this letter?
I gave this letter to her.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm
Instead
saying?
of putting her on the fridge.
Yeah, instead of putting it on the fridge. She told me I shouldn't have been going through her room. We got a house, but now you got a room. Okay. If that's the case, I'm paying the rent. It's my room, too.
Mrs. Shropshire, do you care to explain the existence of the second letter from another correctional facility?
I don't remember the second letter.
No. You remember everything else, but you don't remember the second letter.
I don't remember the second letter. I mean, he told me he found a letter, and he said he tore it up. And I remember bringing a letter home that I never read from the same person, but I never read it, and he never gave it to me. So I don't know what was in it because I didn't have time to read it.
Did she tear up some CDs as well?
Oh, Judge, I had a nice CD collection. About 800 to 1,000 CDs, all, you know, categorized hip-hop, jazz, things like that. Not only did she scratch up the CDs with a pen, she broke them. But she didn't just break them and throw them away. She left the jackets there to make me think they were still there. So when I go listen to music, when my friends is over or whatever, I'm like, oh, man, I got this new Ramsey Lewis, or I got this new Biggie, whatever it is. I ain't got it. I got the jacket, though, but I ain't got the CD.
Mrs. Shropshire, did he make that up, or did that actually occur?
As a result of being upset, it actually occurred.
As a result of being upset, it actually occurred.
Yes.
Now you have nothing to say. Usually I can't keep you quiet. Now you have nothing to say. Tell me about the difficulties that the two of you had with each other's families.
First of all, they can't cook. The food tastes like dog food, so I don't want to go over I don't want to go over on holidays, but I go anyways. So we went to his family house for the dog food on Thanksgiving, and I said, well, we're going to have to go eat some real food for Christmas. Christmas came, he said we was going to his sister's house. So I decided I wasn't going to be able to tolerate the dog food this year, and I went to my family house, and we've been doing separate holidays ever since.
Mr. Shropshire?
She say my family can't cook. My mother and father are both professional cooks. And it wasn't about the food. She just didn't want to be around my family. She says, you allow your mother to manipulate your life, to control your life, make all your decisions. It's not like that. You just don't respect me or my position as being the head of this household or being your husband. You don't want to be married, so I'm going to let you go.
You want the washer and dryer.
Absolutely.
Tell me how the household items got separated and why you believe you should be awarded the washer and dryer at this time.
I left and I took the bad bed. I bought both of them beds. I took the bad bed and left him the good bed. He gonna complain his back hurting in the bad bed, so I left him the good bed. And I didn't want him to have dirty clothes. So before he moved or did whatever he was going to do, I left the washing machine, the dryer, the refrigerator, and the stove. And I want the washing machine and dryer.
Mr. Shropshire.
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you all the best. You've been through a bit, and now things will get better. Mrs. Shropshire, you're a mess. When you take a man's 1,000 CD collection, tear it up, then put it back. That's unkind, that's mean-spirited, that's low, and it's inappropriate.
You're absolutely right.
You're not just expressing anger. What you're doing is sitting there and thinking, how can I most hurt the one man in this universe I promised to love, honor, respect, and cherish? And if that is not unkind, I don't know what is. You talk a lot, you don't listen at all. And when you do need to speak about being unhappy about your sex life or being unhappy about the romance, you choose to say nothing. You choose to get angry, do the wrong thing. This man is very reasonable. I can see it right here. You could have come to him like a grown woman, unhappy in your marriage, and talked. But what you do is write the prison population. This was your answer. No. This was your answer to a marital problem, was to write the prison population.
Yes.
I wish you the best. Again, this is the best thing that could have happened to you. You sold the washer and dryer, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I had... she left me, the bills wasn't paid, things she was supposed to
You got another washer and dryer?
No.
Okay.
No, I had to sell it.
You had to sell it? Mrs. Shropshire, you had all the time in the world to get what you wanted. I'm not going to revisit this and go take that man's wash and dryer or the money for it. You did exactly what you wanted to do, took exactly what you wanted to take. You each had a right to some of it. This matter is closed. You will not recover a thing. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom. Well, Judge, I've been going through our emails.
Yeah, I love these emails. Have you got a good one for me?
Well, you know, there's a lot of questions coming in for you, but I thought this was a pretty good one. I thought you might like answering it.
Okay.
LaSonia from Tennessee is 28 years old. She has a fiance who's 39, and she thinks she made a big mistake a little while back. Seems she went out to dinner with another man, and her fiance keeps bringing this up, and she's trying to put this in the past, and she wants some advice from you, what she might be able to do.
Well, first of all, just so we're all on the same ground, she did make a mistake. She shouldn't have gone out with the other guy. This is very clear. She's young. People make mistakes. But what she needs to do is see how serious of an issue this really is with him, because this is not going to be the last mistake she ever makes. And
Absolutely.
if he can't let anything go, if she can't apologize and get him to trust her again, she needs to back off the relationship until they're able to fix that. And if he's a person that's going to hold you accountable to the end of time, you might want to think about it a little bit.